Let your team's problems fester, and eventually they're going to see you as the problem. I had a situation about halfway through my Marine Corps career. I was a captain. I had a guy who was a train wreck, abrasive, a bully. Everybody knew it, but he was pretty good about camouflaging it around me and the group. But I did have a bad feeling about him almost immediately, and I had that feeling in my gut, and I didn't trust my gut, which is something we all need to learn to listen to. Depending on what you read, almost all of our thoughts and feelings originate from our subconscious, which is where I got that feeling, and you would too. Something like 5% or maybe even less of our thoughts are consciously controlled. We think we're in control of our thoughts, but we're really not as much as we think. Anyway, this went on for a couple months. I denied it. I made the decision to bring him on board, and I was denying that I had made a bad decision. I was confirming my own decisions, my beliefs, which is something called confirmation bias. When you want something to work out a certain way and you look for pieces of information that support what you want the result to be. Then one day I was explaining to my wife what was going on, and she kind of knew a little bit about it, but she gave me one small piece of advice, which is anything but. And that is eventually, if you don't do anything about it, eventually people are going to see you as the problem. When you're a leader, it's more than just a buzz phrase when you say that you, as the leader, are responsible for everything that happens or fails to happen with your team. That's what people expect from you. When things aren't working, they expect you, the leader, to make it right, no matter what they say. You might say to yourself, well, I'm new. I'm just the manager. Everybody's been here a long time. They know what to do. They don't expect me to do stuff like that. But they do. When you have that authority, people are looking for you to make things right. And one of the reasons, maybe you encounter this, they don't want to do that. They want somebody else to do it. You're the leader. That falls to you. You might have a grace period when you get to a new team, some time to get your feet on the ground, learn who people are, what people do, see what's going on. But that's going to wear off quick. And eventually, all of the communication problems, all of the indecision, the things that just plain old don't work right or don't make sense to people, if you don't take action, if you don't fix those, you're going to be the problem. Why do we let things like this go on for so long? Well, what I did is I convinced myself that it wasn't as bad as people said because I saw it as a reflection on me, which it was. But the other thing that's a reflection on me is not taking action and fixing the problem. So you got to watch for that. Well, I eventually made the decision to get rid of the guy and did. And the feedback I got from across the board, every direction was positive. They were all just really waiting for me, or somebody, but me as a leader, to do the right thing and take action. And a decision like that is never easy. Even in this case, I think about this a lot. It was very obvious that he was not a fit and something had to be done. But it was still a hard decision to make. Anything that affects people's lives is going to be difficult. Don't expect it not to be. I will say, though, over the years, the more experience you get in dealing with situations like that, it does become a lot easier because you see the result of your decision. Even though it's a hard one, you quickly realize that you're benefiting the group, you're taking care of more people by making that decision in the first place. And taking care of the group with decisions like this, that's a good focus for a leader, which is tackle the big problems that prevent people from being successful or that irritate them or even get it hard for them to enjoy themselves in their roles in their job, at work, on your team. That is worth way more than you just diving in and doing work yourself, getting your hands on the dough and just working away while you're letting the team dynamics, which are subpar, exist or continue. Create an environment where it's easier for them to work together, and that's going to far outweigh anything you could individually contribute to the team. Not only that, but you're going to get all kinds of positive feedback from the team when you take action like that. But we've all done it, and too many of us continue to do it where you bury your head in the sand, don't take a stand for what you know is right. And the reality of the situation is people see that and they just see it as weak and ineffective. In a lot of ways, even though they blame you because you're the leader, they don't really see you as a leader. And the bad part is there's a lot of bad parts, but one of them is you're going to feel that. And you're not going to feel good about your role as the leader. You're not going to feel good about the job. It may cause you to leave and try it somewhere else, but you're just going to find the same types of situations in other places. Equally as bad, or maybe even worse, if you stay, your best people are going to leave. They're not going to put up with that. You're going to have low morale. You're going to feel that. You're going to have high attrition. You're never going to be able to catch up. And here's the thing. It might be the hardest thing that you have ever done to this point in your career when you address a situation like that. But it has to be done. Find a trusted colleague, somebody that you trust, somebody that you, maybe a friend even, and just talk it through. You want somebody to help you get that confidence to take action, and hopefully your supervisor supports you in it. Which is a good point that I should have mentioned is you want to make sure that your supervisor is fully aware of situations if it has to do with people like that. And it doesn't have to be about people. It could be just communication gaps, like I said, or getting a little better at making the decisions that the team needs from you. But if it is a people decision, it might be the hardest thing that you've done to that point in your career. Talk to your supervisor, get support. And, you got to give that person a fair chance. You got to make sure that they know the expectation. But once you've done all that, you got to take action. You're going to feel the positive feedback right away. You're going to feel good about it. If this situation sounds familiar, if this is something that you are dealing with or going to have to deal with, you got to find somebody to talk to about it. Love to help. My information's in the profile. Get a hold of me anytime. Thanks.